Alrighty folks, this is Lurch from Ireland Gaming and welcome back to another episode of From the Depths. Now, this time we're not in our campaign. Due to Ruger's outlandish designs, his massive projects, he is outsourcing some of his R&D to us, so we have some science to do. He's interested in a continuous laser anti-missile system, so we're going to do some testing. Now, a lot of the research I've done already in this has been done by a lot of people, mostly here, who is the How to Disco tutorial on the forums. It's very, very comprehensive. It's a great way to get an idea of how to use the whole system. And Kronos988 has made a laser calculator, which is absolutely... oh, it's incredible. It's so good for designing laser systems. It does all of the fiddly math for you and takes a lot of the trial and error out of the whole thing. I don't believe it's 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. I will have links to both of those in the details of the video, and yeah, I strongly recommend checking them out, because that's a great start for getting to know the laser systems and how they all work. So, first of all, we are obviously testing a laser anti-missile system, so you need to know about missiles. And when you're developing a LAMS, the most important thing to remember about missiles is they have 100 HP, and they have, I believe, 1 armor, which means that you need 2 or 3 AP along with your 100 damage to actually kill them in 1 hit. Now, from what I've read, a continuous laser anti-missile system will tick at about 40 ticks per second. So every second that'll be 40 shots. And by my math, 46 per second over a second, you need approximately a 4K DPS. That's 4,000 DPS to keep a laser firing at 100 damage every single tick. That's based on my math. Now, the laser calculator says differently, but we're going to test both. Now, on the laser calc, and I'll pop a little screeny up of the settings I'm going to use to test this out, I've developed a small continuous LAMS that does 120 minimum damage, approximately, and it's according to the calculator, it should do consistently over enough damage to take them out. But from what I understand of the laser system, with continuous LAMS you need to have a considerable amount of power feeding into the pumps to keep them pumping. So I'm not sure if a very, very small system is going to work, and I doubt it will, because according to the calculator you only need about 3 cavities for this, and that's a really low number with only 2 pumps aside, so I figure something like that is really not going to do much against it. So I also have designed a 4K DPS LAMS system that we can use to really sort of kick it up a notch and see just how many missiles we can defend against. Now, I am going to be using one of Ruger's designs to test this out, and I'll spawn one in quickly here and show. I've got a little video montage of just what this thing can do, but I'll show you this is the Torrent, and it's a spammy little boat. And before I start actually building the little system, I'm going to cut to a video for that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be right. Torrent is a prototype swarm missile ship developed by Ireland's own Ruger. Blueprints are classified material. It wields a deadly array of 50 single-frag warheads to rain death and destruction down on your enemies. With a constant fire rate of 5 missiles per second at a 45-degree launch angle, this small but powerful vessel packs quite a punch. And you see it exploding in the background there. Hope you enjoyed the little video. That's how I'm out of play for now. Let's get started building 120 minimum damage, a tiny little laser fortress. Obviously it's going to need an engine, an AI to control the fortress, and obviously the 120 min damage laser, and for which I will pop the spreadsheet up on the screen of what design I'm using for it. So I will be right back. And we're back, and unfortunately we've hit a bit of a snag. Unfortunately, the damage being reported by the game and what is showing up in the laser calculator doesn't really stack up right. Um, we have 2.4 here, and this is the laser that the other thing said it should sort of do 100 minimum damage, but the possibilities are it doesn't consider continuous wave laser because I know there hasn't been a terribly large amount of research done into them yet, or I have broke the laser calculator, which is a distinct possibility because I've had this for a couple of weeks and I could have very easily accidentally hit Q or something like that in one of the boxes that I shouldn't have hit something in and broke the damn thing. So I think we're gonna have to just scrap this idea for a small one and go straight to the big daddy. And let's build a 4K LAMS system. There's a couple of things I want to test with it. I want to test how the AP affects the range, and I have an idea how I can do that. I want to see how the AP affects the accuracy by just stacking up to like 25 AP and see how far and how accurate we can get the continuous LAMS to go. I want to see if the DPS from a continuous LAMS system, you know, like the overall DPS for the system, if it is per node, like per LAMS node, or overall like for the system. So for example, if I need 4K DPS to kill a missile in one tick with this, what would happen if I put another LAMS node on it? Do I need to have another 4K DPS on the laser, or will they sort of work alongside each other and sort of balance their fire or something like that? But that's something to test. The overall goal of the LAMS system is to be able to deal with the torrent that I showed you earlier. So if we can take out every missile that's being sent in by one of them, which is one every 0.2 seconds, we should be okay. And if we can figure out the minimum damage required there, well, we know how many missiles we can take out per second. We know what DPS is required to take out missiles on a continuous LAMS. So yeah, I'm going to get started building something crazy big, and I will be right back. So we're back, and I have finished building the suggested one from the laser calculator, and as you can see from the laser damage, it is not enough. 68.32. So after doing a little bit of digging, I discovered there is actually an updated version, and the link down below will be updated. It'll be changed to the correct one, and it seems to be a lot more accurate as to, well, it's giving a more sort of believable result for the continuous laser damage. Now, I wanted to demonstrate something quickly as well. Sort of a little bit how the laser system works. If you just expand it like this, like I've got a prefab here, which is just another one of these two laser cavities. There's 28 in each cavity, so that's an extra 56. But if we just like attach these on, let's put this here, and we'll do another massive one here on the other side. This is, you would expect the damage to go up by 3 times, right? But it doesn't really work like that. It's them connected up. Now that says 204 continuous laser damage, but the way the system works, that won't stay at 200. Each combiner has its own like damage input, and it goes down with the more combiners that you have. So we have like what, 56 by 3, 150, 168 combiners here, or cavities with 3 pumps on each, and while that is doing 200 damage that 200 after the first second will go down, and then again, and then again, and again. So it will eventually degrade enough that it won't be terribly effective, I don't believe. But at this stage, we're going to do a quick test and see if this works, basically. Now we're only going to use one LAMS node. Actually, I still have to put AI on this thing so I can actually detect missiles, which will only take a second. But let's find the LAMS system. Boop. We only want the one. We'll start it fairly far away and stick a little AI system on here. AI mainframe and laser. No, missile warners. You and you and you. That should be enough. Now, I kind of want to box this all off, just so that you know, whenever it does, whenever I start spawning things in torrents, if it does get through, it won't completely destroy the system. Come on, work faster. That's really slow. Oh well. Cool, yeah, so I'll let that build out here quickly. And we'll have to get a torrent set up here. Oh, that's right, if you if you change the rotation of the block or try to change the block when you're filling, it breaks it. Doesn't like it at all. So we have to wait until this is actually filled. Done. Thank you. That's not perfect, it'll do. It's just to prevent any major damage from happening in the event that some of the missiles get through. Oh, I need Fortress AI on this thing. Do I need AI? I don't need AI, I just need a controller. Let's put a controller in here somewhere that I can, just so that I can raise it and lower it whenever I need to. Control, vehicle control, Fortress controller, that's what I need. Let me move, damn it. Here we go. I want to just get this whole thing in the water. Way, way down. Oops, moved it too far away. There we go. This just ensures that the missiles will stay sort of roughly above the surface whenever they're trying to, well, when they're on their way. Gives it a better arc of fire. Considering I want to just test one LAMS node at the minute. So let's go out here. Oh, I know why my camera's so slow. Sorry, I forgot to upgrade my camera speed after recording that little video montage of the torrent. So let's put that back up. Yeah, in case you want to know how to change your camera speed, this is really handy if you're actually recording videos and stuff. Gives you a more cinematic camera view. Sorry, excuse me. So we're this far away, we'll get a torrent spawned in. Let's see, Ruger's Vehicles, torrent. We'll spawn it on the Deepwater Guards team. Load. Alright, Sonny Jim, you should start firing. Wow, okay, they've got great range. Holy mother, that's really effective. But it's not one-shotting them. You see now the cavities seem to have lowered, like decreased the amount of damage that they can do now. Ah, wow! Oops. And, oh, blast, I shouldn't have been standing there. It hurts our testing. But yeah, you see, now our damage is way down and it's just blowing the snot out of it. So yeah, that clearly doesn't work. It's not enough. As soon as it took any damage at all, it obviously got disabled, but with the way the laser system works, the degrading damage of a continuous laser really hurts a LAMS system. So with having all of those combiners, this just simply doesn't work. It's not powerful enough, so we're going to have to do something bigger. So I'm going to revamp it a little bit. Now, based on the new laser calculator I found, it seems to say if you have one combiner and I think it said 82 cavities, which is a big long line. and then with 2 pumps on either side of the cavity, we should be able to get it up to 100 minimum damage, and that will be the absolute minimum damage for the laser. So I'm going to go and try and build one of those. Be right back. Okay, and after a little bit more tweaking with the new spreadsheet, I upped the destabilizer count to 3. We're keeping it at 1 combiner, and it dropped the cavity requirement down to 68, I believe. But we had to go with 3 pumps per cavity to maintain the damage. But this, as you can see here, 100.368 DPS, or damage for continuous laser, and I believe because this is all on 1 combiner, it should maintain that DPS. Now you can see she's a long fella. My word, that is a lot of cavities. And like I said, there's 3 destabilizers. We're just trying 2 AP thingies for now. What, frequency doublers are they called? Yeah, frequency doubler. And we can just lop this end off and expand this to test the range and stuff later. Actually, there's a range readout here. This could be very easy to test. Where are you? Okay, range is 983 with 3 AP. Let's lump a couple more on there and see what happens. Good lord, it's a long way to the other side. 5, right. That's a lot more AP. That's like 5 more. And if it changes at all, then we're onto something. 16. Wow! Holy crap. That's significant. So it seems that it could be actually worthwhile increasing the AP of your LAMS system beyond that of normal just to get the extra range. Now, being able to test accuracy could be a very, very different story. Because at the end of the day, if it increases the range, then the accuracy is going to degrade anyway. So at the higher ranges, you're not going to have the accuracy. The question is, are you going to have the accuracy at your previous capped range? So say you had your range at 1000 with an AP of 3 or whatever. Is it going to be higher than that accuracy? Say it's 90% there. Is it going to be higher than that at 1000 meters if you increase your max range past that? It's hard to know. That's extremely difficult to test without like a massive sample size, and I don't think I can do that. But we can test this one out for now and see what happens. So this is a pretty long range laser now. It's like 1600 meters. That's really, really long. And I guess range is good for a LAMS system because it gives you longer to shoot stuff. So that seems to be done there. Let's hop out of build mode and let's see what the torrent does now. Load vehicle, torrent, deepwater guard, load. Now let's see what happens. Did I forget to put the laser warder on again? No, you're there. Why are you not working? Oh, there it goes. Oh, the accuracy's still awful. Why is that so bad? And the AP is reduced to nothing. Well, that's because we've run out of power now, I guess. So that doesn't seem to be working either. Maybe we need more LAMS nodes to take advantage of all of this. Okay, oh, blast and confound. Damn you, torrent. Ruining my science. So many rockets out of that wee thing. Spammy little git. Okay, so let's try putting some more of these on this time. Three of them. So my worry here is, I mean that drained out pretty fast. It didn't seem to be terribly effective at taking those out at that range. Now this is a pretty high DPS laser, so it should theoretically take out the missiles quickly, but I don't know. I'm going to get this thing repaired up and I'll be right back for another test. Okay, so we're back and we've added those couple of extra LAMS nodes you've seen, and I've added a big clump of metal to the front here just to maybe elongate our test a little bit, and a chair so I stop dying. So let's get another torrent spawned in and see what happens. We're going to go a wee bit further out now so it has a little bit more time to shoot at stuff. I don't know, it's got that massive laser range now, so hopefully that'll be working to our benefit. Your deep water guard, load. Okay, Mr. Torrent, off you go. Oh, I know what I forgot to do is put some shielding along in front of the LAMS node. Oh, we'll see what happens first. I'm not sure exactly what range the turret kicks off at. I guess I should have just spawned it closer. Oh, there it is. Now, by my reckoning, they should already be firing there. I mean, they're within their field of fire. Why on earth are you not shooting? It has got a 1600 range, right? Oh look, there's our continuous laser damage dropping wildly. Oh, and it got destroyed. Yeah, I totally should have put a shield on there. Oh, and these are like narrow cone frag warheads, that's why they're destroying us so much. Blast and confound. I guess I'm going to need some basic shielding here at least just to stop it from killing us. Okay, let's try that again. Be right back. Okay, test number, I don't know how many. Added a bunch of shields here. We're still on 3 LAMS nodes, but I haven't upgraded the laser at all. I haven't added any more cavities, but I did add an extra line of pumps. I'm hoping that this will probably, well, hoping that this will like lower the rate that I will lose DPS. But for now, I'm not remaining too hopeful for these continuous LAMS systems. The range doesn't seem to help us terribly much because the accuracy is so poor. So the shields should help reduce some of the fragmentation damage, and I've got them layered well into the hull. So let's try this again a little bit closer and see how these extra pumps do. I have to go straight away. Let's get closer. Are you shooting yet? No. Shoot, damn you! They're closing in! Yeah, this is just not effective. I mean, this is a big ass laser. Like, seriously, big ass laser. And it's just not working. So, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. What sort of damage is it saying still? Or is it because we've damaged the system? Very, very, very small damage. Because we have no engine. Okay, so we've got this crazy, like, 68 cavity continuous LAMS laser. If I put like one of those laser foci on the top, this would be a very effective weapon against other ships. Like, it's a powerful laser. But I'm going to build a small Q-switch laser system that's good enough to take out missiles, and we'll just compare them and see how it goes. So I am going to be right back. Okay, we're back with another test, and this is a basic Q-switch laser LAMS system that I use in some of my other ships. I have a prefab of it here just to show you what it looks like. Was it? I think it's 8 cavities. 10 cavities and 2 pumps per laser, 2 destabilizers, 2 frequency doublers. That gives you a nice little 120 damage laser that should maintain its damage value when it's firing. It should have enough pumps for that, and yeah, this is all you need to equal the other system, actually surpass it from what I can see. So let's load a torrent in, and because the lasers are different colours, we should be able to see which one's doing better. Let's find out. Load vehicle, torrent. Yeah, in you go. That thing is so spammy. Well, between the two of them, they're doing good. That's pretty cool. But, I mean, with the LAMS system on this being like less than half the size, I just think Q switches are really the only way to go for lasers. For LAMS systems at least. But you see, it's just one-shotting everything, whereas this is taking quite a long time, waiting till it gets very close, and spamming everything with shrapnel because of all those shields. But yeah, the LAMS system, or the Q-switch system, definitely seems to be more effective, and the difference in energy requirement is substantial. This is, like you can see there on the right, in the bottom right, this is using about 1,500 power at peak. Oh, the engine took a hit there. Well, that's that out of the question. No? Oh no, it didn't. Did it? Oh, it did. Oh, there goes the ammo barrels. Oops. This thing isn't designed for this sort of testing. Let's just get rid of this for now. And this guy... Oh, you've taken damage too. But this needs a considerable amount of power just to run. Like, you're talking like 10,000 or so. And the payoff is just not worth it. So, it seems that the real conclusion to all of this testing, despite my original goals, is that continuous LAMs just don't seem to work very well. But I think we should find out just what sort of system we need to build to make it effective. So I'm going to build something really silly and see if we can protect ourselves against a torrent with just a continuous laser. No Q switches still. So, yeah, I will be right back. Okay, we're back with the final test. And I built something silly. It's got 85 AP. It does 1200 damage with a range of 3000. And it's big. It's big. I put on like 6 of the other things. 6? No, hold on. We're up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 combiners compared to the original 1. So this, I would bloody hope... Oh, hang on. Disconnected. Connect to laser connectors to the multi-purpose laser thing. Why? Why you no work? I thought this was working. Why you no connecty? Connected to... Why are you not connected to? Oh yeah, it's not. Disconnected. Connect to laser connectors or to the multi-purpose laser connector. They are connected. Blasted could find you. Why you no work? Because these are all working. Oh, now it works. Derp. Okay, so if this doesn't stop a torrent, then you may as well just forget using continuous lasers for LAMs, because this is definitely unfeasible. My word, this is such a big laser. I mean, this is the sort of thing you put on a death laser satellite type thing. Even still, that's it's even a bit big for that. But let's let this finish putting on this little bit of armor, and we'll spawn a torrent in and see if it actually works. Come on. The people want to see the explosions. Okay, torrent time. When I get attacking straight on here, just so make the most of those shields. Off you go. Now that's definitely within 3 kilometers. Most certainly. But it's not firing. Is it the detectors that limit the range? Oh, there it goes. Well, okay, that seems to be working. and it's trying to shoot things farther away. You know, I'm starting to think that the problem with this system isn't the actual laser, it's the missile defense system. Because when it targets the right missiles, that's really effective. But that's like not effective enough for the size of this laser. I mean, that's a small ship. Let's just compare the values here. Destroy the enemy vessel and have a look at this. Now this thing costs 3 million resource points. 3 million! Whereas a torrent, if we load the vehicle, costs 300,000. That's 100 times more. So, I think the greatest conclusion we can get from this is don't bother with continuous LAMS. Reserve your continuous lasers for laser weapons and use Q switches for LAMS, because as all the research has been done so far has sort of indicated, and I just wanted to test this out to make sure, continuous laser systems or anti-missile systems are poor. And it's simple as that. They don't work for this. So we've tested it, it's done, science complete, test failed. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed the very first of my From the Depths science videos. We did learn a couple of things today. I mean, we learned that the continuous LAMS, the AP, does indeed increase the range, and while it may increase the accuracy, it doesn't seem to do it over that long range. I think the biggest problem with the LAMS system for continuous lasers, and the sort of indicated here by the high initial damage and then ramping it down, is that the continuous LAMS system has such a high overkill damage value that it overkills the missiles by like 10 times and wastes so much energy. And this is where the Q-switch lasers really come into play, because you can limit them so heavily to shoot exactly 120 damage or 100 damage and make it really, really efficient. And this is where this system sort of falls off. So we had discovered, flat out, that continuous laser anti-missile systems just don't work. So at least we learned something. Science has been done. But if you like the video and you want to see more like this in the future, show your support and click that like button. It helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to do more videos like this in the future. Take it handy and have a bloody good day.